Leo, the influence of China is growing, getting out of control, is it?
Yeah, in the UK. So China is buying up control and influence in the UK, according to a group of MPs. The regime is using money and spies to penetrate every sector of the economy. So successive governments have accepted Chinese money, but it's not just governments. It's academic institutions. I mean, in case you're wondering why they're all like communists now and hate the West and push any sort of left-wing ideology.
They did that before, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've always been.
I think China, and the Soviet Union have been involved in funding the Western academia for a while. Also, the nuclear sector is at risk because Beijing has extensive investment in the UK's nuclear sector, which is kind of worrying. And also, we've got an over-reliance on Chinese technology.
So is it the case that corporations in the UK should be refusing money from China at this stage?
Possibly, yeah. And I know there's a lot in the restaurant sector as well. They don't mention restaurants here, but I've seen a few on my street. These selling Chinese.
Also, the news organisations, this jacket, £40. So, thank you, China.
We've actually seen this in America before. So there was a case where it was discovered that China had been funding a major university in the US, and they'd actually had some input into the curriculum. So that all of a sudden freedom of speech wasn't seen as such a glowing, wonderful thing. Yeah. Now, if they have that kind of influence, which they probably will if they're putting up the money, we've got to do something about this, haven't we?
Yeah, well, that's what this report is. It's a report that's been... That people who have been mentioned in this report have been coming out with this. So we've seen a drip of this over the last year. Yeah. But this is all put together, the Intelligence and Security Committee. It's a 207-page report. It's also our nuclear industry, how essentially it's saying that we can't have a nuclear industry without them. Yes. Which is terrifying as well. And this is what they do. And the thing is also, it's not just them buying their way in. If they don't just buy their way in into the institutions and into our technology, they just steal it.
So we're really going to have to reckon with this, aren't we, that the next major superpower in this world is going to be an authoritarian one?
Yeah, I mean, China's never going to be the next superpower. America's always going to be out in front of China.
Do you think?
I'm pretty confident in saying that. I don't think the Chinese GDP is ever going to reach parity with America's. And we've seen China's GDP, the projections getting lower and lower and lower, whereas America's are going up and up and up. Because you can't beat freedom at the end of the day. Nothing works better than people having the freedom to put their energies and their capital where they want it to go. But yeah, I mean, the fact that China is staying, and in fact getting more autocratic, for decades we thought that as China got richer, it would just naturally sort of drift towards liberal Western democracy-style government. It's, the absolute opposite. Instead, we're seeing the West becoming more autocratic. People would rather feel safe, have the illusion of safety, than actually be free.
Well, I'm not sure you're right, Leo. I imagine in 3 years' time, when you're speaking Chinese on this very channel, then you'll be eating your words.
I'm personally learning Indian.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
You're going the other way?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Konnichiwa.
I don't think you've quite got that right, Josh. We're going to move on now.